And you just testified a moment ago. My colleague, Mr. Royce, asked you a question, and you responded in part, at some place I actually had expertise. And I assume you were talking about at your time at Goldman.
Congressman, I grew up in the government securities business, and I was responding to the fact that Mr. Royce raised this issue about the primary dealership, and this had been something that I'd probably spent, I don't know, 15 years, had been very, very active in that marketplace.
Okay. But you would say that as the CEO at MF Global, you had some expertise. Is that correct?
Certainly with regard to the government securities markets.
And you were asked a little bit about your deference. Do you think you could have gotten any special treatment because of deference, because of the positions that you've held? And I just want to bring note that you were granted a 3-year extension of your employment agreement in 2011, and two of the reasons they cited was success in securing primary dealer status and improving the posture with regulators, the company posture with regulators. Do you think that that would definitely have something to do with maybe some deference to who you are and your status? I mean, plausibly.
Congressman, it's plausible, but I think
that's all I needed to know. Thank you very much. Let's ask this. You mentioned before in your statements that you actually came in when the leverage was about 40 to 1 and brought it down to, say, 30 to 1. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Pierce started to hit on it, but he didn't let you answer the question. So I'm going to let you answer the question. When you analyze the records for 7 quarters in a row, you run up your leverage right after the quarter ends. So you de-lever right before the filings for 7 quarters in a row. That, I'm sure you know, is known as window dressing. But let's go through that. These are the repos 105, I believe, right? These are 105? Or is it not?
To my knowledge, Congressman, there were no repo 105s
there weren't.
Executed at MF Global.
Okay. Then what repos did you use? Is it not true that after each filing, 7 quarters in a row, the leverage went dramatically up?
Congressman, because our systems were not as strong as we would like them to be, we only netted positions at the close of a quarter. That is, if you were long a security in one account and
Thank you for the explanation, but ultimately, if I look at your 7-quarter filings in a row, at the end of each filing, your leverage is one place, and then right after that filing, your leverage is much higher. Regardless of why, is that a factual statement or not?
I can't actually answer that question, Congressman.
Okay, maybe the CFO can answer that question. With a strict analysis of someone that knows nothing, say like me, that is not involved in MF Global, if I look at your quarterly filings, is that statistically a fact, regardless of why?
Congressman, the CFO isn't here today.
I'm sorry.
I apologize. So
the acting president?
I was the president, and I don't have those records with me, so I can't verify. I was not at the company 7 quarters ago, and I don't know what happened the day before or day after.
Okay. And Mr. Corzine, you don't recall 7 quarters in a row? I mean, there was an article about this, so I'm assuming it was brought to your attention. It was written, and I'm sure you read the article.
Congressman, I'm not familiar with the article, and I'm
not familiar with that article?
I'm not familiar with that article.
Okay. Outstanding. Let me ask you this. I think there's millions of people that are familiar with that article. If I was the CEO, I'm going to just say I don't believe that answer, Mr. Corzine. If I'm the CEO of a company and a major national newspaper writes an article about my company alleging that I did something that's unethical, window dressing, maybe not illegal, but unethical, I would know about it. I can't believe that no one said to you, called you and said, hey, you see that article they wrote about you? I get that now as a member of Congress. Hey, you see that article they wrote about you? You don't know about that article. You just testified under oath that you do not know about this article.
I don't know the date.
Fair enough.
I don't know the date or what newspaper. It's hard
Before
for me.
You said the Wall Street Journal. It's a small little tablet. You testified about unreconciled differences in segregated accounts. Unreconciled differences. I'm not a CEO. I haven't been a senator. What is unreconciled differences? Does that mean there's money missing in the account?
It means that assets that were supposed to be held against the segregated dollars that we were...
So day at the end of the day?
Absolutely.
Every day, a broker-dealer and so on?
Have to submit to the CFTC that
So
you are
unreconciled
in reconciliation.
difference means something's missing.
Either that or...
In this case. No, I mean in your case.
In
not
this
in the
case-
abstract. We're talking about MF Global, the company you were in charge of. What did that mean, unreconciled differences?
meant we were not in balance in our segregated accounts.
Not in balance. What does that mean, not in balance?
It could mean we didn't have control of collateral. It could mean we had money that moved that shouldn't have moved.
You had money that moved that shouldn't have moved. Who other than you, is it the Treasury Department within that has the authority to move that money?
Yes, sir.
My time has expired.
I thank the gentleman. Now the gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Hunsinger, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm frankly intensely interested where my friend from New York was going. So if it's all right, I'm going to give you 30 seconds of my time so you can quickly finish that up.
At the end of each day, you just testified that they reconcile. Have prior to this time that we're talking about now, the demise, the explosion here, did you ever have unreconciled differences in your account?
To my knowledge.
Never. Okay. That's good to hear. What's the first thing that would happen when they find out that there's something out of balance, something's unreconciled? Would you get a call as the CEO from Treasury?
If it was a serious imbalance, yes.
And is that what happened? You got a call?
There was work trying to reconcile this, and I know this after the fact, not before the fact, on that
But this was a
Sunday.
pretty serious unbalance. This is a pretty serious difference, correct?
From only what I have been able to discover afterwards from reading some of the press reports.
Okay, so as soon as they found out, Treasury found out that it was unreconciled, did they call you or not?
I was notified on Sunday evening.
Okay, so they
October
didn't
30th.
call you. They did not call you then
people
when they closed books at the end of the business day. It was not reconciled, but they did not call you.
It was normal operating procedure to have the calculation done the following business day, which was Friday to Monday, and so folks were working on this reconciliation through the weekend. I think there was a
So who
industry-wide-
ultimately notified you then that there was unreconciled
the
difference?
CFO.
The CFO.
I'd like to reclaim my time at this point and